This will be a short screencast explaining how you can add sound to your game so that every time you catch the falling sprite, you hear a sound. So you're going to start by logging into Scratch and clicking on the folder icon that will show you all your projects. You're going to want to open up your game by clicking See Inside. And whenever you're going to make a change to a game and add things, it's always a good idea to make a copy of the game. That way, if you get confused or something doesn't work, you still have your original game that you know does work. So I'm going to click on File and choose Save as a Copy. So that takes just a minute to copy. It tells you that it's done here. And it's going to give it a name, basically, that'll say the name it already had with the word copy on the end. So what I suggest is that you just add instead the number 2 if this is your second version of the game. If you go back and you add more things, make a copy of this one and call it Catch the Cookie 3 or whatever your title is. Just keep changing the number, and that way you'll know the highest number is the game that has the most features on it. Okay, we are going to be coding for our catching sprite, and we want to tell it that every time it catches the falling sprite, which means if it touches it, we want to hear a noise. So make sure that you have highlighted your catching sprite. It should be blue here, and you should see it up here in the corner of your coding area. We're going to start here under the Events menu and drag over one of these when green flag is clicked buttons. Then we are going to move over to Events, actually sticking in Events. We want, Control menu. We want to grab a forever loop because we want this to work the whole time that the player is playing the game. Then we're going to get into some conditionals. A conditional is an if-then statement. So I'm going to grab my conditional and put it inside my forever loop. And we're going to say if the catching sprite touches the falling sprite, then we want to hear a sound. So we're going to need to go to the sensing menu. And the very first block is the touching sensor block. That goes in there. Click on the drop-down menu. Mine is going to be Fortune Cookie because that's my falling sprite. You need to click on whatever your falling sprite is called. So if my catching sprite touches the falling sprite, then I want a sound. So if I come up here to the top and choose the Sounds tab, you'll see here a list of any sounds you've already used in your project. But if you want to choose something different, we can click right here on Choose a Sound. There's tons of different sounds that you can choose from. I'm going to click over here to the Effects category because I think that will be a good place to get a sound for my game. And I think I might choose this one. If I click here, it's going to add it to my choices. Then I'm going to go back to my Coding tab. And I'm going to go to the Sounds menu. And the very first choice here is Play Sound. From the drop-down menu, I'm going to choose the sound I want, boing. And I think that should pretty much do it. Now you need to test your game and see if it works. If I click on the green flag, we should hear our noise when it touches. There we go. That's a pretty easy way to make your game more fun and exciting. So it seems like it only works if it hits from the top. If you end up touching your catching sprite from the side, you won't get the noise. But most of the time, hopefully, you'll get it from the top and you will hear that noise. Thank you.